2,
3,
4.
Monster movie.
Fun time, go! Monster movie.
Fun time, go. Monster.
Movie.
Fun time.
Go!
Monster movie. Fun time, go.
With Precious D and Honeybee.
Fun time, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, welcome to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. I am one of your hosts, Precious D.
And I'm the other one of your hosts, Honeybee.
Honeybee and I are two best friends making our way through the history of kaiju movies. We started in 1933 with King Kong. Today we are up to 2013 with Big Ass Spider.
Or something I'd like to call a normal day in Australia.
But we were going to do something a little fun first. For Christmas, Honeybee
Woo! Got
me some Godzilla Mad Libs. So we're gonna do a Mad Lib. We'll see how this goes.
Let's do it.
Do you remember your parts of speech, Honeybee?
I think so.
All right. So the first thing I need from you is something alive, plural.
Oh, should we do spiders?
Okay. Spiders.
Seems on brand.
I need a plural noun.
A plural noun, but it doesn't have to be alive?
Right.
I was going to say roly-polies.
Okay. I need a number.
47.
Okay. First name.
A first name, it shouldn't be that hard. Jacob.
Okay. Jacob. A place. I need a place.
Like a McDonald's?
That's a place.
Okay.
An adjective.
Ooh, how about beautiful?
Beautiful. Okay. Beautiful. Another adjective.
Slimy.
A type of food.
Vegetable.
An adverb.
Quickly.
Quickly. A city.
Carlsbad.
Carlsbad.
Is that a city? I don't know if that's a city
It is. A type of
Okay.
A type of building, plural.
Theaters.
Theater. Verb ending in ing.
Suckling.
Suckling. And then another verb.
Swimming. Swim.
Swim. A plural noun.
Phones.
Phone. A noun.
Sock.
A part of the body, plural.
Ears.
And finally a verb.
Drink.
Drink. Okay, this is called Kaiju 101.
Ooh.
Kaiju are part of a special class of monsters. They're more than just your average spiders. In Japanese, kaiju translates roughly into strange roly-polies. Kaiju can be up to 47 times larger than a Tyrannosaurus Jacob. You can find them on land, in the McDonald's, and even in beautiful space. Kaiju can be amphibious creatures, mechanical creatures, or slimy creatures. Although some kaiju are peaceful, most are fearful predators with a taste for red vegetables. Kaiju's favorite hunting grounds include quickly populated cities like Carlsbad. When destroying theaters, kaiju use their size. I left out one. Size. Average strength. I'll just put average. Average strength, and special powers like suckling. Kaiju are also territorial, and if they encounter each other, they will swim to the death. When fighting each other, kaiju won't hesitate to knock over any phones in their way. If you see a kaiju, don't just stand by and watch as if a nature documentary on Sock Planet is unfolding in front of your ears. Instead, drop everything and drink.
Yeah.
So,
Woo!
there
That
we
was fun. Those are so
Yeah,
fun.
there we
I
go.
love Mad Libs.
I haven't done one of those in a long, long time. I'm going to stop.
Me either.
I'm going to drop everything and drink right now.
Cheers.
I was just
to to the kaiju.
There's just some Coke Zero, that's all. All right, Big Ass Spider from 2013. It's directed by Mike Mendez, written by Gregory Guierres from Epic Pictures Group. 80 minutes in color from the United States in English. Our cast is Greg Grunberg as Alex Mathis, Claire Kramer as Lieutenant Carly Brandt, Lombardo Boyer as Jose
Ayo.
Ramos. I think he spells it differently than you do. It's A-R. Don't you spell it E-R? But close enough. Ray Weiss as Major Braxton Tanner. Lynn Shea as Mrs. Jefferson. Patrick Baucow as Lucas. Lloyd Kaufman as himself. We'll get to him. Alex Kendra as Nurse Lisa. I'm sorry, Alexis Kendra as Nurse Lisa. And then in parentheses it says Alexis Peters. I'm not sure which one she's credited as in the film and which is her alternate name, but Alexis somebody. Adam Girash as Homeless Man and James C. Mathis as Street Cop. Lloyd Kaufman is the guy in charge of, president of, whatever, Trauma Films. So
Trauma films.
the Toxic Avenger, Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD, bunch of really low budget horror films.
Oh, okay.
So kind of a cult figure. So, you know, whoever made this movie must have been a fan and asked him to be in it. I don't remember him. I know what he looks like. I don't remember where he showed up in the film. And it says as himself. It says as himself, but I don't think anybody said, hey, look, it's Lloyd Kaufman.
Maybe some people did.
Yeah. In the movie, I mean.
Oh.
Honeybee, what are your initial thoughts on Big Ass Spider?
My initial thoughts are like, whoa, this is so action-packed. It felt like it went by so quickly. It was so fun, and it just went by so fast. Like, I felt like, oh no, it's already over. It was so good. I really enjoyed just like the non-stop fuckery of this movie. It was so silly. Yeah, I really feel like it was just such a hit. Jose is definitely carries a lot of the movie, but not. I just love this movie. It was so fun, and it was so action packed that I never had a moment to like look away. I was so glued to it and so into it, and I just really appreciated that about this movie.
Okay. I saw this years ago when it was new, not like in the theater or anything. I think it was a direct-to-TV. It was a Sci-Fi original. But it's not by the Asylum. It's a step above, maybe even 2 steps above the Asylum.
Yeah, I'd say 2 for sure.
The Asylum. And I was excited at the time because I like Greg Grunberg. Excuse me. Damn it. That's what I get for drinking Coke while we're recording. I was excited at the time because of Greg Grunberg. Are you familiar with him at all?
No, he looks familiar to me, but I couldn't tell you why. You know what I mean?
Well, he's usually in supporting parts. And this is one of his few movies where he's the star.
Nailed it.
J.J. Abrams loves him and puts him in everything he does.
Oh, okay.
Like even in the Star Trek that J. Abrams directed, he didn't really have a part for Greg, but he still has his voice in there. When I don't know if you've seen that one, but young Kirk has stolen his older brother's car, and his older brother is calling him on the phone to yell at him about it. And that's Greg is the older brother on the phone. So
Nice.
because he's like, I gotta put Greg in here somewhere. He had a supporting part, but a major supporting part on Alias. That's where I first saw him, which was a J.J. Abrams thing. Ray Weiss, of course, is very well known. He was in Twin Peaks, but been all kinds.
Yes, that's what I
kinds of
recognized
things.
him from was Twin Peaks.
He's in Jeepers Creepers too. You're a fan of the Creepers movies.
I am definitely, but Twin Peaks was the first thing I thought of when I saw him. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
because Twin Peaks is just so
Yeah.
out there. It's hard to forget.
So I mostly like this movie, but I feel like it's a little bit racist.
I knew you were going to say
I
that.
feel I'm going to give it a 1. It's just that Jose is Hispanic and with a heavy accent, and they just won't stop talking about it. He can't just be Mexican. They have to constantly comment on him being Mexican in a slightly condescending way. Not full-blown
It's for the
mean.
comedy.
Yeah. They're not downright mean to him, but it's just a little, ha ha, look at him, he's Mexican. And I don't remember it hitting me as hard the first time I saw it, but this time I was like, why are you ragging on Jose all the time?
I don't think it's
he's
necessarily
doing
ragging. I do get what you mean, and I get what you're saying, and especially because in like the 2020 on kind of racism lens is very heightened these days. But I feel like for the time, I feel like comedy is kind of one of those things where it's, I think Sarah Silverman said it, where it's like a time capsule of the time.
Yeah.
And I think that the comedy of the time, just this fits perfectly. Because, you had like Dave Chappelle and what was that Mexican guy's name who was a comedian? He made the dee Carlos Mencia.
Okay.
Like all of these, like it was kind of just like the comedy of the time to like really harp on these kind of stereotypes. And I do see the comedy in it, and I think it's hilarious. I think that they do a good job. And also I think that like any Mexican person watching this is gonna think that it's funny and not be like, oh, they're making fun of me. And maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like one of those things where it may only upset like white people.
Right. I felt like they were making fun of him. The thing is, his performance could have been exactly the same, and if they just left it, like at one point, I think he calls him Mexican Robin. I'm like, why can't he just be Robin?
Mm-hmm.
Why you got to say Mexican Robin? You're bad.
Yeah.
You didn't say I'm white Batman and you're Mexican Robin. He's.
Yeah.
It's just because white.
I think
it's because white is the
at
default.
one point he's like, you on the walkie-talkie, he's like, USA to Mexico or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
I'm like,
Yeah.
he's got an accent, but you don't know. He might have been born here. You don't know. You're just assuming he's from Mexico. So, just little things like that I just found unnecessary and not necessarily particularly funny. But
Yeah.
it's just the assumption that white is the default, and anything that's not white or English speaking or whatever is outside and weird and less than. But none of it was mean spirited. It was just a little dated.
Yeah, a little over the top. Yeah, there was also another part that kind of where Jose kind of gives it back, where when the cop pulls him over, they haven't seen the cop yet, but he's like, "Don't worry, I'll talk to him." And he's like, "Yeah, you're white."
Yeah, of course you better talk to him. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Matt,
Definitely dated.
use your white privilege to help me out. So let's see. Where's the plot? Let's get into the plot. So we start off with it's one of those things where it starts at nearly the end of things. It starts at the climax, and then we flash back. And the way they're doing it, I quite liked. What is the song?
I did too.
What's this?
It's Where Is My Mind, but it's a cover.
Okay, I guess I didn't recognize the song, but I like the song.
Oh, it's a great cover. It was a very, very good cover because it's usually sang by a dude, and the girl who sang it just did such a good job. Oh, I loved it so much.
So, Greg, what was his character's name? Alex.
Who?
Alex.
Yeah.
He's walking in slow motion towards the danger while everybody else is either running away or shooting guns at it. Can't remember if we see the spider, but
We do.
Okay. The spider is at this point gigantic and is up a building, and the army's
like you do.
Yeah.
King Konging it up there.
The army's shooting at it. Things are on fire. Cars are overturned. And Greg's just sort of calmly, and he looks dirty and bruised up or cut up, and he's calmly walking towards the danger in slow motion as this music plays. And
Yes.
It's
and we get a
quite
few of the
nice.
spiders growl too, which is so perfect because it's that just a really great kaiju screech.
Yeah.
So we get this like slow motion and the music and then the screech. It's a very, very well done.
But when we actually get back to this scene at the end of the movie, his approach is very quick. Not just in normal speed, it just seems very quick. So then we cut to Alex Mathis here's our Wikipedia summary. Thank you, Wikipedia.
12 hours earlier.
Yes. Alex Mathis is a cash-strapped but good-natured exterminator working in Los Angeles. While helping an elderly woman with a rodent problem, he is bitten by a venomous spider and is treated at a hospital.
A brown recluse,
Yes.
to be exact.
Yes, they're nasty. He's pretty casual about it because, they're no fun.
Yeah. Also, this isn't important, but I thought it was really weird and funny that the older lady paid him in bread and then groped his boobies.
Yes. Yeah, he's constantly coming to this lady's house. She's very much into him, but she always just pays him in bread. And because he tosses the bread into the truck next to a van, next to a bunch of other loaves of bread in the passenger seat. Is it bread or is it fruit cake?
It's like a fruit cake,
banana
like
bread?
a loaf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe it's banana bread. I don't remember. But so he goes to the hospital to get his spider bite treated and starts macking hard on the nurse very
Nurse
unsuccessfully.
Lisa, she is a babe and a half. I will say, though, something that really bothered me about this scene, she didn't put gloves on. I know that that's silly, but I'm like, she's a nurse and she's touching this open spider bite.
Yep.
Why isn't she wearing gloves?
Yeah, she should have them on. You're absolutely right. I didn't notice that. I just noticed that, again, this seemed a little dated, just how hard he was trying to flirt with her, but not. Because it wasn't even flirting. It was a kind of a level above that. I don't know what you call it exactly. I mean, I called it macking a minute ago. Just too much. It was too much, and it wasn't working at all. And I was like, does this ever work for him? Is this why he's trying so hard? Because it never works. But on the other hand, the old lady was throwing herself at him. So who knows? But yeah, she shuts him down pretty hard. And I thought she was going to be more important, but we'll get to that.
She was just hot.
We'll get to that in a moment. Meanwhile, a mortician is bitten by a rodent-sized spider that crawls out of a dead body which just arrived at the hospital. Learning this, Alex offers to take care of the spider in exchange for clearing his hospital bill because, it was quite high apparently, and I guess he doesn't have insurance. He's his own boss, so. Jose Ramos, a hospital security guard, offers to help Alex.
Woo! Oh man, this first exchange that we get with Jose is so funny. It's like the guy has been bitten by a spider and he comes up and he's telling everyone, he's like, Carl has something very crazy to say. And Carl is trying to get out that he was bit by this thing and he can't, what was it? And they're like, maybe it was a dog. He's like, it wasn't a dog. He's like, maybe it was a cat. Someone's like, and then Jose's like, maybe it was a monkey. And they're just trying to figure this out. And this exchange is so funny. And you really just get Jose's kind of sense of character in this moment where he's always saying these hilarious one-liners, adding something to the end of a sentence that just makes it so funny. I instantly loved Jose. I was like, oh, I love this guy. I hope he's in the whole movie.
Is this the scene where the guy's like, it wasn't a monkey, it was a spider, and he's like, maybe it's a spider monkey?
No, that's a little bit later when the guy's like, okay, he's like, repeat to me exactly. Alex is trying to figure out what exactly is going on. He's like, repeat to me exactly what he said. And so Jose's like, well, first Lisa thought it was a cat, and then I thought it was this, and then I thought, and then a monkey, and then he's like, a spider monkey. Yeah, it's very funny.
And there's some the hospital administrator that there's some interaction with him, and he tells Jose to help him, which Jose then later interprets as help him with everything, even if it means going off hospital grounds. It's like, my boss told me to help you, so I'm going to help you.
So That's so good.
Going to the morgue, Alex deduces the spider escaped into an air vent. He enters the vent and communicates with Jose via walkie-talkie. Meanwhile, a U.S. military task force led by Major Braxton Tanner and Lieutenant Carly Brandt show up at the hospital to examine the dead body the spider burst out of. And they are immediately just throwing their weight around, pushing around civilians, just taking over the hospital. And the administrator tries to stand up to him. He tries to do kind of like, you don't have any authority to do this. You can't just shut down my hospital. What are you doing? But
and he's like, oh, yeah, I do, buddy.
yeah, they're just basically, we've got guns and you don't, so we're gonna.
Also, they seem to know what the hell is going on,
Yeah.
whereas no one else really does. But also, Alex, when he's talking about catching the spider, and he like talks about how he can think like a spider, and he like becomes the spider, he does this like really rad little sound effect of like the spider, like the tick 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 of it like walking or something, and it is so good. I was like, oh, holy shit, that's actually a really good sound effect.
Yeah. So it appears the body was sent to this hospital by mistake. It probably should have been sent to an army hospital or facility of some kind, but it was.
And when the government comes in, I will say the lieutenant is wearing a Kitten Hill. And I was like, okay, we love her work in this Kitten Hill.
Okay.
Don't think that's what the government wears. You know,
Right.
I don't see a lieutenant walking in a Kitten Hill, but I'm here for it. Work.
So as soon as Alex encounters Carly, he forgets about the nurse. And it's just like, oh, here's another pretty lady that maybe my charms will work on. Meanwhile, the spider growing exponentially kills a paralyzed hospital patient. Back inside the vent, Alex stumbles upon a spider web and learns that it is highly flammable. Alex ventures into the hospital basement where he has a confrontation with the spider. Aren't all spider webs flammable? Isn't that why I don't think he learns that. I think he knows that and pulls out his lighter.
No. He pulls out his lighter because his little light that's strapped to his glasses is going out.
Oh, okay.
So he pulls out his lighter because he's about to be completely in the dark, and then he accidentally lights the web on fire, and he's like, oh, well, that was interesting.
Because my dad used to try to burn spider webs, and we were always telling him to stop doing that. 'Cause, you're going to set the kitchen on fire. I guess it was a thing they did when he was young, something his mother or father did. He would roll up a newspaper.
I think that's purely coincidental.
He would roll up a newspaper, and not a whole paper, but and light the end
like
of
a
it, and then
piece.
just sort of wave it at the spider webs, which is, I feel like a thing, old Mexican people do, and probably
definitely.
burn down a lot of houses. So it shouldn't surprise this exterminator to find that the spider web was flammable, but. So he has a confrontation with the spider. The spider is driven off by Carly and escapes into a grate down the sewer where it sprays acid at and kills a homeless man. So this is when he meets Carly and at first is like, oh, what are you doing? It got away. But also, hey, you're kind of cute. I am a professional.
Also, we got to talk about how the homeless man, how the spider bribed the homeless man with the quarter that Alex was like, I got something for you, spider. It's nice and shiny, and like rolls this quarter to the spider, and the spider just like takes it. He's like, hey, that's my quarter. And they kind of like get in this fight. And then the spider literally lures a homeless man with his quarter.
Yes, he hangs it from his web
Yeah.
like bait.
I was like damn, that's a smart ass spider.
Yeah, I found that part a little unbelievable. I mean, it's a movie about a giant spider, but still, I don't know why Alex thought the spider would chase the coin to begin with. I'm not aware that spiders are drawn to shiny metal things. And it was very intelligent of the spider to lure a homeless man with money. Ugh.
Yeah. Also, at this point in the movie, I kind of realized that Alex's like comedic timing kind of reminds me a little bit of like Vince Vaughn in a way, like just the
Okay.
same kind of timing, which I'm not like a super fan of. A lot of people really enjoy him. I don't really care, I guess, but I kind of just noticed they have the same like inflection and the same kind of timing. I was like, that's interesting.
How dare you?
What?
I think in general I like Greg better than Vince, but
Yeah, I definitely do like him better as well. I just, I know more of Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
He's just more popular. But, I'm not really, like, a big fan. I don't really care, but I don't think that he's as, like, great as people make him out to be.
Alex, enamored with Carly, offers his assistance to Braxton, who declines, especially when Alex presses her for answers on where the spider came from. Jose convinces Alex to continue their pursuit as it could be the most important thing of their lives.
We also get a moment here where Alex says, "This is a big-ass spider," and it was like, "Hey-o, title."
Yeah. I do like the title of this movie. It's
I do too. It's perfect.
It's what it says on the tin.
Yeah, and also I have this note right here about how like Alex is trying so hard to like Philo, but no one wants him to, and it's so funny.
Yeah, that's right. He has to
like
fight
this is the
for
first time that we see a Philo that literally no one's not like, "Oh, you were here from the beginning? Come on, kids, get in this helicopter that you don't belong in." He's literally forcing himself into every situation.
Yes. Yeah, folks, if you're new to the show, Philo is first in, last out, which we see in many of these kaiju movies, that someone has no business being there at the end of the movie is there just because they were there at the beginning. So they got to be there every step of the way. But yeah, Alex actually has to fight for his Philo.
Yeah.
The duo tracks the still growing spider to a public park where it kills dozens of people. Alex and Jose get the spider to chase their truck and lure it to the military. A huge firefight ensues, but the spider escapes into the nearby woods.
We also, in this, with like right before the park, we get these interviews of people on the street, and they're so funny. Right. This one guy's like, "I saw a big ass spider. If I see that spider again, I'd whoop his ass." And everyone's like, "Woo!" And then they reference that hide your kids, hide your wife video. Yeah. This guy's like, "You better hide your kids, hide your wife. Yeah. There's a big ass spider out here." So good.
Yeah. The military are watching this on the TV monitors and stuff as they're trying to track the spider. They're watching the local news interview these people. Carly and a group of soldiers pursue it, but the spider ambushes them, kills most of the soldiers, and captures Carly. After Alex and Jose demand answers, Braxton reveals that they discovered alien DNA and hope to use it as a growth hormone. However, a spider's nest was hidden in some test fruit, thus exposing the spider to the alien DNA and triggering its rapid growth. It is also revealed that the spider will soon start reproducing based on its size and their studies of the alien DNA. Yeah, they talk about the different phases that it's going through, and they've got to destroy it before it reaches, was it phase 5 or phase 4?
Yeah, phase 5 is babies.
Yeah, phase 5 is reproduction. We can't have that.
And at this point, the spider is just straight, like, stabbing people. Like, it's just killing people. Some people, it'll wrap them up, but mostly it's just, like, stabbing people with its legs. It's so sick.
It does save a few people for later.
Yeah.
Alex and Jose head for the city as the now enormous spider sets up a nest at the U.S. Bank Tower. As they enter the skyscraper, Braxton informs them that Carly is located directly inside the nest and warns them of an impending airstrike. So Braxton had assumed that Carly was dead at one point, and Alex was like, "No, we got to save her." He's like, "What are you talking about? She's dead." And once they get confirmation that she is alive, Braxton has a personal relationship with her. She's, I think, worked with him for years, and I think he has like a father feeling towards her. So when he finds us, so he's trying to just treat her like she's a soldier and she died. But then when he finds out she is alive, he's like, you got this amount of time, get in there and save her.
Well, also something that kind of doesn't make sense is before this, when she gets caught, she's strapped with explosives, and he asks her, "Are you prepared to end this if you have to?" And I'm literally like, why is he asking her that? And then the spider comes and she like the guy Alex tries to save her, and she's like, "I have all of these explosives strapped to me, like I will blow up." And he's like, "You can't do that, it's gonna kill you." So I'm like, okay, so you were gonna let her blow herself up to like end the spider,
right.
But now you're like, you know what? I do care about her. Go save my daughter.
Yeah. So yeah, they've decided they need to just bring in the planes to shoot this thing up, and but he's got a few minutes. He's got like 10 minutes or something, 5 minutes. He does not have enough time. When he tells them how much time he has, I'm like, they are still miles away from that building, and then he's got to get up into the top of it.
By the time we get to the point where they're actually at the building, they're like, you have 3 minutes, and then they're just going in there, jam into the elevator music. Yeah. like you have 3 minutes, get your shit together.
They get to Carly and free her and several other trapped citizens just before the hatching baby spiders can attack. The group makes it out of the building seconds before the airstrike hits, provoking the spider. Alex deduces from the spider web's flammability that the spider could be killed by shooting its spinneret. They think they've killed the spider, but then it gets back up. Jose grabs a rocket launcher from a military vehicle and tosses it to Alex, who shoots the spider in the spinneret. They actually established this a while earlier, I think. There's a bit of a chase.
Yeah. Yeah, they talk about it in the car.
Like, so we got to shoot it in the butt? Yes. The spider explodes, finally killing it. Alex embraces Carly, and the two enjoy a passionate kiss.
And of course, when he shoots it in the butt, he says, "Up yours."
Yes. In a mid-credit scene, Braxton calls Alex to tell him they have another problem. In the background, a giant cockroach can be seen climbing the Statue of Liberty in a video monitor. The end.
Okay, I will say 2 things. I'm really glad these goof nuts are the heroes, right? Yeah. It's so funny that Alex is kind of like a chubby exterminator, and then he has his sidekick Jose, who's just hysterical. It's just funny that these dweebs are the heroes of the movie. Love that. Chef's kiss. Something that I don't understand about this movie is they were like, okay, we gotta blow up this building. Take out the building before the eggs hatch. Well, newsflash, they never take out the building. Yeah. The spider falls off the building, and then they think it's dead, and then it's not, and they blow up the spider. But we never mention again the babies. We do see the babies kill a lady, take a lady. And by the way, I will say about that, the worst thing that you want to hear, the last thing you want to hear when you are being attacked by giant baby spiders is, "Oh, she's dead." I was like, damn, Alex, you couldn't wait till they drug her away to say that? That was the last thing she fucking heard you say? That's horrible. Yeah. But then they never address the babies or the building or anything. And these two making out at the end, I was like, ugh, annoying, because I just don't. But for the sake of the movie, I'll say, okay, fine. I will deal with them being together. It's just goofy. But yeah, my biggest problem was they never destroyed the building. So whenever they do the mid-credit scene, I was like, oh, here we go. Here we're gonna find out the babies, because apparently there were hundreds of them. Yeah. And the spider, it only took 12 hours for the spider to go from inside a human body as a baby to this huge spider on top of the building, and now we have hundreds of them. And we just never address it. It just didn't happen. It's just these two make out at the end, and that's it.
I think we were supposed to assume that the missiles that knocked the spider off the building also destroyed the babies. But maybe they just went in with flamethrowers after the fact and took out all the babies. I don't know.
It really annoyed me. I was like, how could we forget that? Yeah. It seems very important.
Because they certainly didn't blow up the whole building, but I thought they had shot some missiles into it. So,
yeah, at the very tippy top.
Yeah, there's.
Anyways,
there's a few interesting things here on Wikipedia about the production. The director, to cast extras, used people from his Facebook friends list because he didn't have enough money for paid extras.
Cute.
And the screenplay was originally called Dino Spider. Distributors wanted the film to be retitled Mega Spider, as they felt that Big Ass Spider would not be marketable, but Mendes convinced them to keep the title, feeling that Big Ass Spider is the right title for the movie. I felt it in my heart and soul, and I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's got a 78 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, so. It was a fantastic. I also thought it was funny how at the end, the guy's like, let me ask you a question. What's the biggest cockroach you ever saw? And then the movie ends with the song La Cucaracha.
Yes.
Glorious.
Let's see. It was released on demand and in a limited number of theaters by Epic Pictures Releasing. And it got a Saturn Award for Best DVD or Blu-ray.
Oh.
That's a science fiction award. But I thought it was a sci-fi original or presented as one. I definitely saw it on the Sci-Fi Channel. Where did we watch? It's on Peacock now, but I think it's also on Tubi and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, I watched it on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of these movies that's everywhere now. So, Honeybee, what are you going to rate Big Ass Spider?
I'm going to rate it a 5. I loved it. I will watch it again. It was hilarious. Yeah, I think 5 stars for me. Something else that we kind of skipped over is something that's really funny. A little funny part that happens is when the spider first goes to the streets and there's panic in the streets, he goes to Little Tokyo first, which is in true kaiju fashion, destroying Tokyo.
I think I'm torn. I'm a little torn between a 4 and a 5. Just some of the dated elements kind of keep me from loving it. I didn't really. I liked it a lot when I first saw it, but watching it now, Alex comes off as a bit of a creep, and I feel a little bit rude to Jose. Or condescending, at least, to Jose. So I think I'm just going to give it a 4.
Nice.
I did like it.
I definitely see why you see, or I definitely could understand that, for sure. But I didn't take it as the same way, I guess, as rude or condescending. I thought it was more of just hilarious, but that's probably a problem.
But my problem is not with the actor playing Jose himself. He was great.
Yeah, he was so great. He's the best. He was the best part of the whole movie.
So there we go, folks. Next week's movie, it's going to be difficult for you guys to watch it with us or before you listen. Next week, we are looking at King Kong the Musical. You can see some clips from it on YouTube, and I think even clips from different productions. Years ago, it was on YouTube kind of unofficially, and then I guess someone noticed and it's been taken down. So I had to order a DVD from a sketchy website, and that's how we watched it. So good luck with that, folks. I don't know what to tell you, but you should at least...
But you can just come and listen to us talk about it.
Yeah, you should definitely watch some clips of it just to see how they do Kong. So that's going to wrap it up for this week's, folks. Thanks for joining us. Remember, please to like and subscribe, rate and review, and consider following us on Patreon. Until next time, I have been Precious D.
And I have been Honey Bee.
Remember to keep calm and take shelter in basements.
And please, don't misuse science.
We won't see you, but you will hear us next time on Monster Movie Fun Time Go. You've been listening to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. If you enjoyed the show, please consider rating and reviewing us on your podcasting platform of choice. You can leave us a message and find links to all our things at mmftg.com.